With you, Dr. Ismaila.
All right. Thank you, Prof. Good evening again, everyone. Today is going to be more practical. So we're going to do while we're talking. So as Prof mentioned, there is a lot of things that you, and remember that actually you use referencing and sources not only for your literature review. When you do your other chapters, you still need to do citations and referencing. So it's valid for actually for your entire project. Okay, so to use Zotero, you need first to download a couple of things, install, and then you get going. So you first need to download Zotero itself. So you just go on Google and then you type Zotero download and then you download it. So once you have downloaded it, then you will have it. Okay, so I need to show you. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Just bear with me. Okay, do you see my screen? Can anyone answer?
Yes, doctor, we can see your screen.
Okay. All right, so do you see this little screen on the side? If you can continue.
Yes, we can.
Confirming. Okay, so after you have downloaded your Zotero, that is what you will have it in your desktop rather. So you can open it, but because remember when you download things, you install things, sometimes you may miss to put an icon on the desktop. So if you didn't, then maybe you wouldn't see it. Then you can search it from your search, how do you call it? Windows search here. So you can see, then you can just type maybe Zotero and then it will come up and then you open it. So you will have it like this. So you can see that I've got a lot of things here. That is actually just for this year. So because I changed the laptop, so I didn't synchronize to have it here because there is a lot more things on the other one. So when you download it the first time, it's going to be empty here. So only my library. Then you need to create collections in your library. You can also create another library, actually. You can come here or here where you see there is that plus thing, and then you can create another library. So generally one library is enough for you for your project. So you can just create collections under the library. Okay, so that is the first thing you need to download. Now, then remember, you're going to use it in your Word document when you are citing. That is how the two need to synchronize so that you can cite. And remember, you're also going to get your articles from your search, let's say Google Scholar, mostly. or you can use other things like Scopus or Lens or whatever it may be. Now, so we working on Google Scholar here. So now also need to synchronize your Google Scholar with Zotero. So how are you going to do it? Now you need to install a Zotero connector. Do you still see my screen? No. Do you still see my screen? I need an answer, please.
Yes, we
see
can.
it, but you're not
Okay.
sharing any content.
Okay, yes, that's fine. Yeah, so I'm showing you. Okay, so I opened the Google Scholar here. You see it, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so on the side here, when you follow my cursor on the top right, I have here a Z here. So these are the extension that I added. So this was added, Zotero connector, as you can see. So you can Google how to add a Zotero connector. It takes a minute and a half to do it. So you add an extension here. So that is what is going to take whatever you take from your Google Scholar to your Zotero. Now, the other thing you need to also add is your Google Scholar extension. So this is going to help you when you want to move something from an article or a paper to Zotero as well. So we're going to do that together, and you're going to see it just now. So this one, you're not going to use it, the Zotero connector particularly, you're not going to use it like practically when you're doing things. So it's there in the background just to help. But this one, the Google Scholar connector or plug-in, as they call them, or extension, this one you're going to use it. Okay. I think, okay, then remember again your Word document. So you're also going to add Zotero on your Word document. Okay, let me. Okay, okay, you see the Word open. Now, you can see here where you have your file, home, insert, draw, whatever, you can see Zotero here. So in real time, or generally, it is not there when you open your Word document. You need to add it. So you can add it. It is called either plug-in, Zotero, or plug-in, as they call them, or add in. So that also you need to add it. So again, you need to Google how to do it. It takes you 2 minutes to do it. So depending on the version that you have, you're going to do it from your Zotero. So when you Google the video, how to do it, they will tell you that you need to do it from your Zotero. So depending on the Zotero version you have, it may be plug in, it may be add in. So if in the video they say maybe add in and then you don't see it, but you can see plug in, then you can also just click on plug in. Okay, so once you do it, then you will looks like. Okay, then you will have it on your Word document here. Okay, so now once these 4 things are in place, you can start working with Zotero and your literature review or whatever the chapter you're busy with. So you need to start organizing things from the very beginning. Otherwise, then, you know, it's going to be in disorder and you won't be able to find what is what later on. That is how this can also help you, you know, to organize things. So you need to have a folder in your desktop or wherever it can be in your documents where you can have all your articles that you're going to work on in. As you read, you add them. So you don't read and pass, and then maybe you think later on you're going to come back. So it's good that when you start every article, so let's go back to Google Scholar here. So, somebody is all right. So article that you find on Google here, Scholar, that you think is interesting for you, that you're going to work in, you need to save it in your Zotero and also in your folder on your desktop or in any folder on your PC or laptop. Okay. So now I'm going to start here. So this document I just opened. So this is something I just started working on. So it's just an abstract here. Okay, so I copied that abstract to put it here in the introduction. So it's the same content, just to show you how you can do the thing. All right, so what is the study about? So we're trying to develop a new method of doing research with one colleague. It is a book chapter. So now it's going to be inspired by 2 other methods. This one, the Federman's Empowerment Evaluation, and the Waterfall method. So now, this is either of the 2 that I'm working on. So you may be working on management accounting, something, whatever. So that is going to be your search. Now, when I go to Google Scholar, so here I type this, and then I do my search. Okay. Okay, so I look first at the titles of whether it's a book chapter, it's an article, it's a dissertation, whatever the case may be. So from the title, you may decide whether this is interesting for your dissertation or your research project. But then you wouldn't know for sure until you have read at least the abstract. So remember, the abstract is a summary of the study. So you can see here some of the things. You see the books, the articles, some of them are in PDF, some are not. So let me go for anyone, just this one. Okay, so this is not a good way to do it. So it's good to open in a new window so that you still have your list of what you were searching on. So now I open it here. Okay, so what I do is I read the abstract first. So if you find that the abstract is interesting and you're going to use this article, then you need to save the article first in your folder on your desktop. Then you need to export it for referencing in your Zotero. So you do it from here straight. So what you do is you just highlight the title and then you go to your Google Scholar extension that you added. So when you click on it, you can see the title that you highlighted appeared there. But sometimes a couple of other articles may also appear, and then you need to decide actually which one is the one that you had here. Sometimes if it is not available, it may just show other articles that are related, but not that particular one, especially if maybe you had a title from somewhere, not from Google Scholar, but you just wanted to search for it, and then you type it here. So if it is not available, related articles may show up. Okay, so what you do here is, now you can see here, cite. So when you click on cite, that your referencing guide tells you whether you need to use Harvard, whether you need to use American Psychological Association. These are the two ones. Most of the time for dissertation in most universities, they use Harvard. You need to check your guidelines. So you choose which one. So when you click on it, you can see at the bottom here, you have BibTeX, you have EndNotes, you have RefMan and RefWorks. So all these are reference management tools. So you don't see Zotero. So RefMan is the one that works with Zotero. So if you happen to be using EndNote, then you click on EndNote. If it is RefWorks, because different universities use different things. So the difference here is Zotero is free. Most of the time, for example, we have EndNote at VUT. I have my account, but I can't do anything because I think the license expired is not yet renewed. So it can delay you, or you may not be able to do the things. And then maybe you have to do it in another thing, and then you have to export, and with all the things that you need to do in between to get the things right. So Zotero is free. You download it, you can use it anytime without interruption. Okay, so you click on RefMan. So when you click on RefMan, so you see your Zotero connector we were talking about, that is here. It appears here. Now, import item from Scholar, Google, whatever, into Zotero. Now, you click OK. So you see immediately here on the right, there is that little confirmation thing that comes in. So what does it do? Open your Zotero. You need to have your collection open where you're going to put the things. So you need to create a collection, and you name it like I have it here. You can see, for example, I have a library. So under library, I have here AI and digitalization, and underneath I have sub things as well. So generally, you can have just one collection, and then you can put your things there, and then you can do another collection instead of having sub collections. So all depends on what you're doing. Now, so you need to have it open on the collection that you want to import the stuff in, because the default is that one. So whatever you try to import is going to go straight in there. So you shouldn't worry too much if maybe you forgot. So to put it on the collection, I believe when you start, you just have one collection, but as they grow, then you will have many. So you can still move your source to a different collection. So like what we have here, when you right click, you can see here, add to collection, and then you can choose the collection you want to add it in, and then after that you can move it to the trash. All right. Okay. So that is how you add your sources. Now, I'm going to go back to the Google Scholar. So you can see you have the site here as well. So if maybe you found a title somewhere and then you type it here, is a title, is not a topic, and then it appears here because you probably read about it already, so you wanted to have it, and then you're looking for it from Google Scholar. Then you don't need to open it in a new window or even here, so you can save it straight from here. So you can just go to, let me look for a different one. Okay. Site here, you see the same comes back here, and then you choose your Harvard and then RefMan. And then here, and then you can still change your collection here if it's the right one. So instead of maybe having to move source from a collection to the other, from here you can also choose to change. All right. Okay. Now you have a few. Okay, so I have many. I did a few things that probably I need to delete. Let me see. Okay, I should have put it in this one. Okay, that's fine. So let's do just two more quickly for you to also see. So from here, I do it. RefMan. And then add, okay, to the method here. Okay, so one last one to have at least 4 because I added 2 before. Okay, so this one, let's open in here. Okay, so I'm going to show you something here. Let's pick one that is not in PDF. Okay, don't want to use the books because their writings are too small, but it's okay. Okay, so okay, I want to avoid the book because you have to scroll down. There are hundreds of pages. Pardon me for that. Let me look something that is not a book, but doesn't mean that you shouldn't work on something that is not a book. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, so when you open here, so remember what I said here, you highlight the title, reject cookies. And then you go to your extension here. And then you go to site. You choose your referencing style. You go to RefMan. And then OK. And then you just give it a couple of seconds to complete. So unless you want to change the code here. Okay. So what happens here sometimes, So remember what I said. You read the abstract. If you find that it is interesting for you and you want to use that article, before you save it into, you export it to Zotero, and you also save it in your folder where you have all your articles in. Now, sometimes here, it is not in a PDF. You're not able to download the article. So you've got the option of library. You remember the induction day, the lady from the library mentioned about articles that you cannot get. Sometimes you need to pay for them, and then you can request from the library. The other thing is there are other ways or in other platforms where you can get them from for free, especially ResearchGate. So I'm just going to copy this here. So ResearchGate, this is the one, the R with the G, like on, how do you call it again? Okay, so I have a profile in ResearchGate, so it goes straight into my profile here. If you don't, then it will take you to the page where you need to, you can do a search, a simple search, but it's good that you open a register for a profile there. To have your profile, it is free. So because if you just do the search without logging in, you may not be able to request, for example, for an article from an author. So if you don't find it here, not if you don't find it, but you will see just now. So I copied that and then I paste it here to search. So if you can find it here, it saves you time to go via the library and wait for a number of days. So you can see here we have it. You can download it here for free. So it may happen that you can't. So you see, for example, this one, you cannot download because it is not available as a full article. So you can request the full article from the authors, and very often within 2-3 days, they send you the article. So you may do it in parallel with the library if you feel, but then you can request from here. So you just click on here, and then you may add a message, or you may not. The default message is there already with your name, and then you can just send it. So after 2-3 days, most of the time they send you you say you're doing your master's or your PhD, and you want to use this article. If they can send you a copy, then they will send it here on ResearchGate, and then ResearchGate will send you an email. Remember, you registered, so they will send you an email to tell you that this author has sent you the article, and then you can come back and download it here. Okay, so now let's move to how you use it, Zotero, to cite in your Word document. What's going on? Okay, now we're going to cite a couple of authors that we save in our collection there in Zotero in our document. So let's say at this place, I want to cite somebody. So remember, you had your Zotero in here as well. So it's not always on. Very often you are at home here. So you can just navigate to your Zotero. And then when you do it, you can see here on the left, add, edit citation, add, edit bibliography. So this one, you use it at the end. When you are finished with your chapter or with your review, whatever the case may be, to generate actually the list of references or the bibliography for everything that is in the text accurately. So this is what we were saying. So you don't have to do anything manually with the risk of errors here and there. And then when you delete something, actually it updates automatically. We will see that as well here. So you click on Add Edit Citation. So your Zotero needs to be open. So if it is not, you will receive a message that actually Word cannot connect or communicate with Zotero. So then you got to have your Zotero open. Then you just need to go and open it. Okay, so where you need to search the name of the author or the title of the article. Let me quickly look at here what we had. So, okay, we had this Berber. When you start typing, then it will come up with all the things that start with that particular name. Whether it is the article, you can start typing the article title or the author's names. So as we can see here, then you just click on it and then you just type enter. Then you see your, okay. Okay, so I think I need to open a new document because there is something that you needed to see. I realize here because I have used it already, then it's not happening. Okay, I'm just going to quickly. Okay, let's redo it again. So I'll go here in my Zotero, add edit citation. Okay, so you see here, because it's the first time that I want to cite in this document, then this pop-up comes in to ask you what reference style do you want in your document. So same with like when you were saving your reference in references in Zotero. So very often, as we said, it's Harvard. And so if generally it's articles, then you can use APA, the American Psychological Association, but most of the time you use Harvard. You have two of them here, so you need to look at your guidelines. There's little difference among them, but again, you see, very often I think they just say to you, you use Harvard, so there is no real specification there. So we just pick one of the two. I'll take the 12th edition here. Then, okay, so that is set for the entire document. So it's not going to appear again. So let's start again. Okay, so we have this now. Let's say I want to add another citation here or another source here, maybe two of them. Remember, sometimes you have two or three together. Okay. Another thing that is coming, and I'm waiting for a question. If you have noticed something from the first citation, can you ask a question. Okay, so here I need, let's say I want to add 2 references. I can still put that same one. And then let me see what's there. Okay, then Sinara. Okay, so you can see here, you can have many of them. So when you type, you enter, it picks the first authors, and then you type again, you can delete, as you can move it with the with your left and right button. Enter again, then you see here you have the 2. Now, remember, mostly in thesis and dissertation, they ask you to put page numbers. So that is what I was asking, if maybe you noticed something and you could have asked a question. So here, you can still go and edit it. But you wouldn't want to do it like that. You would want to do it from the very start with the page numbers straight, so then you don't have to do the job. So you go back here on edit. So here next to the Z, there is a small drop-down arrow. When you click on it, you see you have 2 options here. You go to the classic view. Now on the classic view here, you can see you have pages here. So, but it may not be on page because there are many options here. So it could be on chapter, on location, whatever the case may be. So if it is not on page, then you need to look for page. Then you can type your page number here. Let's say 23. Okay. Then, okay. So you see now it added the page number. But again, you need to look at your reference guide. So sometimes you may not want to have the P dot. You may want to have the, is it column? Okay, so let's see. So that is the default, but you can change it. So let's go back again to here. Okay. So now what you need to do is you need to come to prefix. You do your column here. Then your page number. Oops, I needed to use the other one, not the prefix. The prefix is at the start, sorry. Okay. What happened now? Okay, so it's on the suffix here. So you see, and okay, I added a space here, but generally you don't need a space. So that is how you can do it. So very often when you have many sources between parentheses, like the second one we did, you don't need to do to add page numbers. You need to the same here. So yeah, I just remove the space. So you can just have, okay, we'll do it separately. Okay, so let's say now I want to add another one here, and then, so the page number, remember here, you could also do like 22, 23 to 25. So you just add your hyphen and 25, then it comes in here. Okay. Now let's do one last one here. Add edit. Okay. I want to see what is here in our Zotero here. Okay, that's what I was looking at, because we had at least 4 articles there. I was just seeing 2. Okay, I need to, let me use a different one here. Sorry. It's okay. So here, before I do the enter, I go and add my page number straight so that I don't have to come and edit. Then can just do my column here, and then let's say 36. Okay, so we have it here. All right, so now we have this. So depending on if maybe you use EndNotes, with EndNotes, as you add the citations in here, it adds the list of references straight at the end of the document. So in Zotero, you're going to add it at the end. So one thing you notice is when I click inside this source, you can see it turns gray. So that is what you're going to see when we add the list of references as well. Now, so if you did it manually, it wouldn't. And maybe if accidentally you copied something from somewhere with a reference and you put it in there, so then it's not going to be great when you click in there, and it's not going to be in the list of your referencing either, references. So you can see even in this one as well. So, okay, so I think we had a couple of examples. Now, you are finished with your documents. Now you need your list of references. So you come here at the end of the document, and you can write your references. Okay, so you put your cursor where you want your references to start. Then you go now to add and edit bibliography. You just click on it. And then you see it at work. And then in seconds, you have your list. Even if you have 50 citation or 100, you're not to get you your list. Now, let's say at a point, for whatever the reason may be, you want to delete something or an author. So generally, you don't delete an author. You delete maybe a paragraph or something. So, and then it may happen that it has a source in it. So let's see the one that is on its own. Okay, let's use this one. So we delete this one. So you see, once you click on backspace here, it turns everything gray. Now, when you click on again, it just deletes the thing. So when it deletes, now you see it's still here. But then when you click on again, add and edit your bibliography, it will remove that one. So you can just click on OK. Okay, let's see. Okay, so why is it not coming here? You shouldn't delete manually. So what you do is we return it. So you go on, add and delete citation. Oh, not delete, add and edit. Okay, so then that is it. What am I doing here now? Okay, something is not working. Okay, let me see. Okay, so when you right click here, let me try the update the field. Let's see. Okay. Okay, it's weird that it's not coming in. Okay, I think deleting should work, but let's just try and see. Okay. Try again here. Okay, so when you go on your, how do you call it? On your edit and add or edit bibliography, you can see here all what you have actually in your bibliography, but it may be long. So you don't want to go to, like here, you can click on this one and then return it this side. So, but it's not the ideal way to do it. So, but normally you can see here now it's gone. So it's one of the ways, but normally deleting should do. I'm not sure why it's not working. Let me try this one. Okay, I've not saved the document. Let me just, because when you click on open, save, when you reopen the document again, normally it should. Okay, now it's a problem because I save it in a place where I didn't really. Okay, it's taking me to OneDrive. Okay, I don't want OneDrive. I want my maybe desktop here. Okay, my laptop seems to be slow. I'm not sure why. Okay, so I'll just leave it here as introduction and then I save it. Okay, I'm going to Okay, this one is not going to help me because I still have that reference in here. So let me add another reference here just for that, because it's still going to come on. Okay, add and edit. Okay. Put this one back. Okay, I didn't add the page number because I'm going to delete it. I just want to do it here. Okay, so you see we have it here. It looks to have worked now because it came on automatically here in the list of references. Now let me delete it. And then I want to save the document here. Okay, cancel this one. Okay, so you see here, it's gone. So just to make sure again, the fact that the okay, not here. The fact that the laptop is slow is not helping. Okay, we put again the same. You see, once you add there, it's coming back. It's here. Now let's delete it again just to see. Okay, I'm not sure if I have it, that reference in two places. Just wanna check again. Okay, so what did I do now? It looks like I deleted both. Okay, let me close the documents and open the document and see. Just save. Introduction. Okay, so we have how many here? 1, 2. Okay, so it's not gone because here we only have this one and this one. So this one is no longer here, but okay. Doesn't make sense why it is still here. Okay, me Okay, so you see here, when I try to remove that just one, they all gone together, but you can still do it just on itself, trying to make sure that when you highlight, it's not like gray up. Okay, so 2 minutes for us to try one last time. It's weird that it is not going, but you have seen one way of deleting it by going to your edit and add bibliography. But then again, if your list is long, then you're going to have to sort through, which is not ideal. Okay, let's add it once more. Okay, so when you add it, you see it comes in here automatically. Now, you remove it. It is not going. It doesn't make sense. Let's refresh and see. Okay, so after actually removing, you need to refresh your documents. So you see that it has now worked. So we can just confirm again by adding it. Let's say a different reference. Okay, I'm just taking something different. So you can see here it added, and then let's delete it and then refresh. Okay, so that is it. I think we have seen how it works. So again, your best friend is Google and YouTube. So if you are stuck somewhere and you need, a rapid or quick, answer to whatever you can do, you can just type on Google how to do this on Zotero or between Zotero and Word. And then, you can get 2-3 minutes videos that explain to you quickly what you can do. So I hope that at least the basics are covered, and you will have the video which is recorded for you to look at again, and then whenever you're doing something and you get stuck, you can also sort through the minutes where I talk about it, or you can go on Google, as I said. So this time around, we took a little bit more time, but I think it was worth it. So that is it. I don't think I forgot anything. I'm not sure, but is there any question? Okay, it's not easy to have a question if you did not do it yourself, because this is something that, okay, I see Lebohang there, I'm coming to you now. So generally, you need to start doing it.
Doctor.
Yes, Lebohang, go ahead.
Yes, I just have adding the page numbers. I just want to know that, is it a thing whereby you would have read the article and you know exactly which page number it is, or is the page numbers also automated in the referencing there?
No, absolutely not. So remember, the article may be 20 pages. If it is a dissertation, it could be 120 pages, 150. If it is a thesis, it could be 250, 300 pages. So it's where you read is where the page number is. So you see the page number there. That is what you're going to add to your source. So it cannot be automated because you are the one who will see where what is the page number from what you're reading.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. I'm answered.
All right. Any other question? I was saying again, generally you only start having questions when you work with it. You can see that actually I forgot that you need to refresh the document here before your changes take place, and we spend about 7-8 minutes going around on it. So yeah, so generally, yeah, when you start doing, Professor Beneke just said now it takes you actually about a day to learn how to do this, because downloading the things and putting this, you don't need to learn anything about it. You just type how to do it and then you follow the instructions and then you do it. So you practice on 1-2 pages, as I said, is something a day, and that will save you a lot of time. All right, so if there is no other question, maybe if Prof has something to add as well before maybe we close.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ismaila. Yeah, I think the one thing we saw is that it might be a bit daunting at the beginning, as I said, but as with everything, the more you use it, the easier it becomes. And yeah, Google and YouTube, that's how I learned it. There are plenty of videos, and you know, anything you struggle with, you can ask it. Look, this is not the only reference manager you can use. There are other. Even Word has got its own reference manager built in. However, in terms of across platforms and access, because it's free, it's one of the easiest tools to use. So yeah, take a bit of time to learn it. If you get stuck, you're always welcome to ask me or Dr. Ismaila. But yeah, it's easy to use. I heard a question about the page number. Usually, you will, with APA, it does not require pages, but usually it will either give you is it not on when it appears you can select the page number, or I'm not I can't actually remember. But yeah, we can just, again, you can just Google it or check on YouTube what to do it. But yeah, that is it does have, if you use Harvard, it sets up as Harvard, and then it'll include automatically the page numbers in the in-text reference. But yeah, that's it from me. I don't know if anyone's got any questions. Then I'll thank you.
Before
yes,
that,
yes, go for it.
I just want to add something. So also, you know, you can import these collections. For example, maybe if you learn how to do it on EndNotes, for example, and it's not available, you're using it here, and then EndNote is back. You can export your collection to EndNote. Also, if you had maybe something that you did and you had your list of references in a Word document, you can also import it to come and add it in your collection here. So again, so you can see here, sorry. So you can see when I right click on here, you can export the collection. So when you click on it, so it shows you here. So RIS is the form that is recognized, for example, by certain tools. So you also have other things. Now, so sometimes before you import or export, you need to transform your document into one of these, and you can also use Google to do it. So very easy. So you can export your things from one tool to the other. And then the other thing I forgot, remember your thesis and dissertations. Again, you can, I'm not sure if it has changed, but generally you are asked to have in your list of reference all the name of the authors are and in caps, capital letters. So, and here it gives you in normal, like just capitalized word. So please do your list of references once you have completed everything. So then all you need to do is, unfortunately here, you're going to have to do them manually, because it's not, I'm not sure why they still keep it that you have to do it, you have to have it in caps. But if that is the case, then you need to come and, you know, transform them here. You can, again, I'm not sure, I've not looked at that. You can also check on Google's, maybe if there is a way you can do it for the entire thing. But then if you have to do it like manually, then you can just double click on just on the name that is not all in cap, and then if you are familiar with Word, you know how to do it. If not, then you just come to this double A here, and then uppercase, and then it turns into, it doesn't affect anything in your list or in your in-text citation. So again, yeah, so cap here. So yeah, so that's something I wanted to mention. Otherwise, yeah, so I hope we're good. All right, so that is it. Okay, Lebohang, again.
Yes, sorry, doctor. You know, this will be a quick one. However, I'm noticing you saying that we should use the references when we're done, basically with the document at the end. So does this mean for the entire document we will be basically using only one collection there on Zotero, or how would you advise on the collections?
No, so you can use different collections. So let me show you here. So you see here. So what you can do is you can go on the library. So when you go on the library, everything that is in the other collections are in there. So you do, for example, if you use different collections, then when you're going to do your list of references, then you don't put you don't stay on one collection or try to see how you can be on two collections. Just go on your library, and then before you create the list of your references. So it's going to take whatever is in collection 1 and whatever is in collection 2 that is in your literature review or in your chapter. So it's not going to take anything that is not in there. Okay. So you don't have to, yes. So yes.
All right. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. All right. Okay. So guys, we have taken a little bit more time today. Again, as I said, but I guess it's good. So thank you for making time. And again, if you need anything, we always available. But if you need a quick thing, again, as we said, you can get it online.
Okay, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.